Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be diving into the topic of a high ticket product. Even if you think you understand the definition of high ticket, creating a high ticket offer is a whole other ball game. Today, we're going to talk about how to create a high ticket offer that's built for cash flow success. Not only am I going to share with you the real definition of high ticket, but I'm also going to share with you the yellow brick road, the customer journey that your audience needs to go on to get towards buying it. Then I want to share with you two of the most powerful and profitable strategies that led me to my multi-million-dollar business and how you can implement the same for your business no matter the industry or niche you're in. Then I want to tell you a story of the mistakes that I made along the way, and these were very common, unfortunate mistakes that can even lead to businesses going under. So if you stick around, listen to these mistakes, you can skip the guesswork, avoid the mistakes, and get to cash flow success faster. So what is high ticket? Well, high ticket basically means your highest price offering, but it's super important that every offering you have, we call this your value ladder. It's all your products and services that you have from front end, from lowest ticket to high ticket. Now I'm actually going to draw out what this looks like in your business. So this is what your value ladder looks like, and your highest price offering is typically right at the top where you are giving the most value at the highest price point. Your low ticket is the entry point, and how they can ascend up your value ladder is the yellow brick road, the customer journey that your audience is going to go on. Now every step needs to make sense with the other. It's not that you have all these random different offers. They are one that can ascend to the next, can ascend to the next, can ascend to the next. Typically throughout your whole value ladder, you're still giving your customers the same result. You're still helping them get towards the solution that they need. However, at every step of your value ladder, at different level of offering and price point, they're paying for ease and speed. So maybe at the front of your value ladder, it might be something like a course. It might be something that is low ticket. Maybe it's something like $47. So they're investing less money, but they, the customer, have to invest more of their personal time to implement what you're giving them or showing them. As they go up the value ladder, they might be investing more money, but maybe less time in getting the result. Maybe at this level, it's a done-for-you service, or it's a high-ticket product or program that's going to get them the result that they want with ease and speed. So remember, they are paying for value at the highest level. Do you feel like you're leading your clients towards highest value and highest quality results? Does your value ladder kind of look like a yellow brick road that you're leading them towards what might be their Oz? Let me know in the comments below. Now let me share with you some powerful and profitable strategies that are going to lead people towards your high ticket by implementing this in your value ladder. Now I've already mentioned that at the beginning of the value ladder, your audience may be investing less money but more time, because they're going to get the fastest and highest quality results by investing more financially. But how do they get there? Are they ready to just jump right into high ticket? Well, that depends on their relationship with you. If you've maybe shown them through free content, maybe a strategy call or something where they trust you more. But ideally, your audience will want to grow in the know, like, trust factor. They're going to want to ascend before they're ready to make that investment. So you're qualifying your audience at every step. Now, here's how you can create different offers in your value ladder. You can consider front of your value ladder to maybe be something like DIY. This is a do-it-yourself. So for example, if you have an online course, they are learning this course by themselves. Maybe the next step, they ascend to a done with you. This is where maybe it's a coaching program or something where you're helping them get towards the result, but they're still implementing things themselves. Now at the top of the value ladder, done for you, this might be a service where you're actually implementing for them the result that they want to get. Now, if you're not a course creator, or if you don't have a coaching program or a service, this might not apply to you. Regardless of your business, are going to have a value ladder in place. Even something like McDonald's. Let me give you an example. Now, McDonald's isn't gonna make sense with the DIY, DW, because you're not making your own sandwiches there. It's always a done for you that you're gonna eat yourself. They're at the bottom of their value ladder. What's like the lowest priced offering? Maybe a drink, a beverage, or fries on their dollar menu. Well, are they gonna still be hungry after that? They might go to the next step where, what are they gonna get from there? Maybe the whole meal. And then what's the next step from there? Would you like to supersize that? Would you like the party pack of chicken nuggets? So every business, regardless of who you serve or what you sell, you are going to have a value ladder in your business, and knowing how that ascends to your high ticket is going to be so important in nurturing your customer and qualifying them so they feel ready and ready to throw their credit cards at you. I heard this story once. Russell Brunson was on stage at Funnel Hacking Live. This is his event that he puts on. It's an event from the software ClickFunnels that they put on every year. So he's holding this book up and he says, how many of you have read this book? And almost everyone in the audience raises their hand. And the thing he said next might surprise you. He said, then why are you all here? What you have to understand is everything that I am teaching you is based on the principles of this book. But I'm giving you this example to share with you that people will pay more for the same thing packaged in different ways. So sure, a book that Russell Brunson has as a free plus shipping, you just pay the shipping to get this book. So maybe it's $7 or $10. That's the front of the value ladder. But the information in that book, for you to learn that information faster, maybe you go up to the next step and you buy a course. Maybe you sign up for a coaching program. Maybe you invest in an event. Maybe from there you sign up for a service. So think about this when it comes to your audiences, you're still giving them the same result, but at each level of your value ladder, you're packaging it in different ways. Now, before I get into the story of the many mistakes that I and many others have made in building out their high ticket programs and their value ladder, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out more content out like this every week about how to sell high ticket. Here's mistake number one that most people make is they start with low ticket. Now imagine that value ladder that I showed you. If all you had was something at low ticket, then maybe you were selling something that was like $10 or $20. What kind of profit margins can you expect to have? How many of those do you need to sell to be able to have a booming business, to be able to even, pay rent, buy groceries? It's great if you have a low ticket and high volume, but when you're first starting your business, you're gonna need to have some offers, and it doesn't have to go straight to high ticket. You could have some mid-level offers, because that way you're gonna build your audience and be able to have the profit to reinvest in the business to make more of those low ticket offers to build an audience. In my business, now I didn't actually do this on purpose, but I started with a high ticket. I started as a social media manager and then turned that into a video marketing agency as my clients were requesting more videos and we were getting incredible results by making their video content to put on YouTube. So I had this service and it was a high ticket service because I was flying out to clients all over. I was making these videos for them that were helping them build 6, even 7-figure businesses. One of our clients even got to 10 million in the first year that we were working with them, which is incredible. And it was easy to show why this service was a high ticket service. Now what happened was with that, people would hear about the result that I could create for them and people would come to me saying, hey, I want that from you too. But they couldn't necessarily afford it at the high ticket option. I was able to take what we did at a high ticket level and break that into different methods of delivery. I could turn that into a coaching program at maybe the done with you level. I could turn that into a course, which was at a low ticket, do it yourself level. That way I could still serve my audience, bring them in through my value ladder, help them to get those results. And when I could show them that if they invest the money and the time in my offer, they would get results, then they may choose to come to the next level of the value ladder to be able to get more results from me. Because here's the thing, with your value ladder, at high ticket, you're giving them the most value, the most access, the highest level of community. At the lower levels, it's not that you're giving them everything. You're giving them some of the pieces to get the first step of results. When they get a result, the crazy thing that happens is, although it solves a problem for them, it creates the next problem. Let's say if I teach you how to build an audience with your social media and YouTube content. Well, now the next thing you're gonna need to know is how to monetize that. That can be the next step of the value ladder. Then the next thing you're gonna need to know after you monetize that is now how to scale that to be able to make more money, less time, more efficiently, have a bigger team to be able to reach more people with that. So every step of the value ladder is still giving them the result on the way to the big core result that they want, but at different levels of access and new methodologies or proprietary mechanisms that you can be teaching them at each step. Mistake number 2 that people make when trying to sell high ticket is that they don't price things accordingly. I had a client that came to me and we did a strategy intensive with him. I helped him to build out this great offer. And then he told me, I'm so excited someone bought it. And I was like, great, how much did they pay for it? When do you start? What's happening? He said, I sold it for $10. I sold him a week-long mastermind for $10. Can you imagine how many $10 masterminds you would have to sell to be able to make money and to be able to reinvest it into your business? Now, a mastermind sounds like a really big time investment. I don't even know if he would be making even $1 an hour. For a week long, he certainly wouldn't be making $1 an hour. Now, there's problems where people can price their low ticket too high, or that they price their high ticket too low, or they give everything away at the low ticket and don't create the ascension model for people to see the clear pathway. When I'm talking about the yellow brick road, it's showing them the results that they're able to get at each level by being able to invest more, whether they're investing more time or more money. Now, if you promote your offers and your offer isn't converting, some people will say, well, I think I need to change the price. Most often, the problem is not the price. Most often, the problem is the offer, the messaging, the positioning, the stack, the bonuses, the urgency, the scarcity. It is usually never the price that needs to change. What I would recommend doing is creating a list of all the results, proprietary mechanisms, the systems that you can teach people, and put them into a sequence. This is your yellow brick road. This is building out your value ladder. What can you teach them at each step? What do they need to have as a prerequisite before you can teach them that next step? Remember, your value ladder needs to clearly display how your audience is going to benefit more as they pay more. People pay for ease and speed. The faster and the easier you can get them to their result with different levels of access, different levels of content, different levels of community, maybe it's more coaching from you, maybe it's a service from you, they're going to be willing to pay more for that. And it's important that you price yourself accordingly, because people who pay more attention. What I mean by that is if you give everything away for free, or if you over deliver and give too much value, they might think, well, I got this, so I don't need to pay for the next thing. You have to price yourself at a level that is expensively affordable. What I mean by that is it's an investment enough that they are going to take this seriously. How many times have you ever gotten a free gift, whether it was a book or you name it, that maybe you never opened it, maybe you never read it, maybe you never even looked at it because it was free? But if you invest in something, you've got some skin in the game. Same thing with your audience. Show them the result that they can get and what they have to invest, whether it's financially, emotionally, to be able to get that result. Now, mistake number 3 is making too many random offers. The value ladder is a very clear pathway, but what some people make the mistake of doing is they get some success with one offer and then they think, oh, I'll just make a whole bunch of other ones that are kind of similar to it. And instead of optimizing what's already working, they abandon it. The idea is to create your offers and you can have maybe a low ticket, a core offer, a high ticket, and from there you just optimize. You make sure that your fulfillment is on point, that your audience is getting incredible results from it, that you're continuing to show that social proof. And from there, you can just advertise it differently. You promote it in different ways. Maybe you have a webinar, maybe you have a challenge or a workshop that brings people in to the levels of your value ladder. I wouldn't focus so much on diversifying and creating all these new things. It's about seeing what works, doubling down on it, optimizing it. Now that you've learned about what makes a quality, high converting, high ticket offer, next thing you need is the sequence to be able to bring people in. And I've called it an infinite cash flow blueprint. This is the sequence to bring in your audience all the way from front end to high ticket. I've actually gone the extra step and outlined that entire sequence for you. If you click the link below, I'm gonna give it to you for free. Go ahead, click the link and get free access to my infinite cash flow blueprint.